Hi, my name is Ngozi Ezeka-Atta. I am the founder and managing director of Jaga Beauty Skincare and Skin Aesthetic Clinic. I've been in business for almost 15 years, officially since 2010. Started out as a makeup servicing company, that's Jaga Beauty Makeup, and then we transitioned into skincare in 2020. So this year will be 5 years Jaga Beauty Skincare and 2 years Skin Aesthetic Clinic. First of all, I'll say Splice has been beneficial in the aesthetic arm of my business that involves booking of appointments. When we started, which was in 2023, it was chaos because we'll have clients sometimes spill into each other's appointment times, and there was really no order per se. It was just merely text messaging, calling to book a client, texting or calling to follow up. There were no reminders, and even following the treatment, we did not have plan or any structure to be able to follow up with the client for their next appointment. So basically, it was more or less like no structure. So since Splice, we've definitely had a lot of structure in our business. It's almost like you can go to bed knowing that somebody is handling what's going to happen the next day. That's somebody meaning Splice, because Splice automatically will send a reminder to a client to remind them of their appointments hours before and even a day before. So yes, before Splice, there was chaos. Things are easier now. So Splice has changed the way we manage our appointments, especially our payments. For instance, you know how it is when people don't value free things. And before now, someone will book a consultation over the phone, and the next minute, someone else wants to book, but you're like, oh no, I have Mrs. Cynthia for 9 o'clock. But there's been no commitment whatsoever to that appointment because it was just over the phone. So next thing, Miss Cynthia does not show up, and Mrs. Bosse doesn't show up either because we didn't give her a time since Miss Cynthia had booked 9 o'clock time. But now with Splice, we're able to put up the link, that's a Splice link on our website. So when people want to book for a consultation, they go directly to the Splice link and then they can make payment because it's part of the policy that your payment will validate your booking. And the good thing is that with Splice, it's payment friendly. People can pay with their card and even by means of transfer and secure their bookings. And then I think we get the remits almost immediately or the next day, but we definitely see the reports in our accounts following after they had made payment. I mean, Splice has been very instrumental in managing that aspect. And like I said, once there's a payment, you can be sure that people show up because they don't want to forfeit their payment. So yes, people are more committed to their appointments because they can make payments after booking. Before Splice, last minute cancellation was a thing. It was a regular, like we'll be waiting for Mrs. Cynthia, for instance, again, and the next thing I speak to the front desk, I'm like, where is Miss Cynthia? And they're like, I've been calling her, she's not even picking. I've sent her a message, she's not responding because there has been no commitment whatsoever. It's a loss for us. Imagine, I'm sure you know someone else wants to come at that particular time, like, oh no, Miss Cynthia is coming at 9 o'clock. Can we move it to 12? And person, I'm not available for 12. So we end up, missing out on both ends because Miss Cynthia has failed to make a commitment. They cancel at the last minute and you can't hold them. I mean, so now with Splice, your consultation fee is paid while you're booking if you haven't committed by financially, so you don't even get a date or a time. It's a blessing, I'll put it that way. It's been a blessing because it's taking a lot of stress off us in the sense that we're not worried, oh, is this person coming or is this person not coming. Let me just say, it's made business stressless. So one of my favorite thing about Splice is the fact that with the Splice platform, a client can get to book whoever they want to attend to them for their appointment. So for instance, Ms. Nneka wants to come in for an appointment and she wants Nurse Debbie to attend to her. So she clicks on Nurse Debbie's name before she goes on to make her payment. So that way Nurse Debbie knows that 12 p.m. I have Mrs. Nneka coming. It's not just that someone books an appointment and we're not sure what the person is coming for until they show up. So right from time, Nurse Debbie knows not to engage with another client at that point because Ms. Nneka has indicated that she wants Nurse Debbie at 12 p.m. So she comes in, and I, on the other hand, maybe I'm probably engaged with another client. So we're not double booked. A particular staff is not double booked. It makes deliveries very easy. I think that's my favorite thing about Splice. I was very excited because when I started on Splice, that particular option one wasn't available. So I was happy when it was introduced. I think it was last year. So it makes it seamless, it makes it professional, it makes it look like we know what we're doing, which we do, of course. So I love that about Splice. Yeah. So I met the founder of Splice at a beauty event in 2023. At that point, I had just begun my aesthetic clinic. When she went through the benefits and showed us a slide presentation on what we stand to gain, at that point I knew that it was something I needed, because having started then, I hadn't gotten enough staff. I think it was just me and the front desk, and it was beginning to get busy for us. And I realized that we were having quite a number of no-shows. People would book an appointment, they wouldn't show. Where would have clients walk in and they're like, meanwhile we're attending to another client. So literally we would forget that we had booked a client for a particular time, and then we'd take in another appointment. So we had a clash of clients, clash of the titans. We had a clash of the clients. So I knew at that point that we needed structure in that aspect, because I remember particularly a client and was irate, and she walked out. She was like, how can you get me to come out of my office and I have to wait, because we already attended someone else. We knew at that point that we wanted this service, and it really helped. I mean, it's brought in a lot of structure. We've not been double booked. It's been, everybody knows this particular time. Clients get a reminder a day before, an hour before. So everything is just flowing with Splice. Splice has been very instrumental in tracking our business growth when it comes to our clinic services, our services at the aesthetic clinic. For instance, in 2023, when we got on Splice, we were able to tell by December that we had attended to 150 clients. And that is for those who booked, because we still have people who just walk in. For us, it was a big deal because we had just opened the clinic. So knowing that 150 people had walked through the doors of our clinic, we're inspired to do more. And it's also helped us set goals for the next year, for the next month, because if we know that we attended to, for instance, 50 clients in 4 months, we know that in the next 4 months we want to attend maybe double that amount. And then it also helps keep track of our expenditure on the app. Each of our services listed on the app with their prices, so clients also are able to log in and they can see what the service costs. So they don't come here and they are taken aback when you tell them, oh, you're doing a chemical peel and it costs so amount, and they're like, oh, why didn't you tell me before? They have the privilege of going online, seeing the price, and we are also able to track our income via the app, especially the ones that are entered in through the app. So it's really helped business structure and also helped us track our financial aspects in the clinic. My advice to beauty business owners who are still yet to hop on this innovation is, what are you waiting for? It's literally, you are living in the stone age, because you can't be relying on manual processes. You're waiting till somebody fills a form, or when people come, you show them a price list. You're not able to track your client. You're not able to keep track of also your expenditure or your financials, if I put it that way. You need to hop on board if you want structure in your business, you want any kind of order in your business. So I think it also influences growth, really, because when you can manage your clients properly, I'm speaking from experience, if you can manage your clients properly, it will help you take on more clients. And if you don't have any process where you're able to do that, you would literally be living like with no structure, no plan. Then you can't set goals. If I have to describe Splice in one sentence, I'll say boss lady, beauty boss. Okay, because literally being on Splice gives you some sort of power, because you're in control of your business. So yes, beauty boss lady, that's what Splice makes you.